Guys, if you missed last night's video, NXT review for last night's show, June 6th, 2018, we go over everything regarding Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, as well as talk about the status of the NXT Championship. Is Aleister Black versus Lars Sullivan the least important match going into NXT TakeOver Chicago number 2? We discuss all that, plus NXT's news and rumors for the week. That video is live on the channel right now. Please go check it out, show some support, and leave me your thoughts on last night's great episode of NXT. This is Off the Script Extra. Today we're going to be going over a few stories that you're not going to be hearing on Friday's podcast. So we're going to hit the news and rumors right now to begin your weekend a little bit early, man. We're going to talk about Shawn Michaels possibly coming out of retirement, man. Will we see the Heartbreak Kid wrestle one more match? If Shawn Michaels has anything to do with it, he is definitely open to one more match. Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels recently spoke with Sky Sports and discussed if he would come out of retirement and return to the WWE for one more match. He says, and I quote, "I've been retired for 8 years now, and when it got to the 5-year mark, I thought people would start asking me, and then they just kind of stopped. I think it's one of those things that you would say never. And if it's just for a one-off, then it's something that I could definitely take a look at. It would have to be done the right way and just for one match rather than something that ran for a bit longer. It could be possible, but people would have to accept that they wouldn't be getting the showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania. I am 52 years old." Who he would like to compete against was also brought up, and he answered this, and I quote, "If it was the Shawn Michaels of 10 years ago, I would have loved to get in the ring with so many of the guys that are competing today. AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan would be good. But then there's the guys in NXT too. Someone like a Johnny Gargano would be fantastic. But for now, a one-off match, I'd need to be a tag team partner with Triple H so I can go in there, do a few crotch chops, and have some fun." End quote. You know, we discussed Shawn Michaels being, that guy to wrestle AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago for the WWE Championship. Instead, we got John Cena. Fans made graphics, fan-made works of art to hype that match. I believe, honestly, the only thing that I heard regarding that match was a pitched idea from Solomonster on his podcast, and then some of the dirt sheets actually ran with that as real news. That's the real story behind it. There was no other news about that besides what Solomonster had pitched on his podcast. And then the following weeks to come, we started to see graphics and fan-made art hyping the match that nobody really ever thought about. And then it got brought to AJ Styles' attention, and then they ran with it. So obviously it created this hype and expectation that we were never going to get for the 2016 Royal Rumble, I believe it was. So I don't understand why WWE, never really thought of something like that for San Antonio. I really don't understand that. But now we're looking at it, and now we're talking about it in 2018. I'm not really as open as I was back then to Shawn Michaels wrestling a match. I'm perfectly content with what Shawn Michaels is doing now. He is a trainer and an advocate for all the young talent down at the Performance Center and in NXT. He's a producer for NXT. Who do you think produced most of that ladder match that we seen at TakeOver New Orleans? It was Tyson Kidd, it was Michael P.S. Hayes, and it was Shawn Michaels. There's nobody better to produce a ladder match than the king of ladder matches, Shawn Michaels. Who I would want Shawn Michaels to go up against. If I had a top 3, I mentioned this on Twitter. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, please do so. Daniel Bryan would probably make the most sense because Daniel Bryan was trained by Shawn Michaels. Obviously, AJ Styles, that's a no-brainer. And then Johnny Gargano, he mentioned. You could even mention the Velveteen Dream, because right now Velveteen Dream is a pet project for Shawn Michaels. But another one that I don't think people are realizing would be a fantastic match, and in my eyes, when I look at him, I look at a young Shawn Michaels, and that would be Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole versus Shawn Michaels would be a fantastic match, but Shawn Michaels has done something that a lot of wrestlers nowadays have not done. That is stay retired. I wouldn't want to see Shawn Michaels at 52 years old. The older he gets, the less I want to see him. Same thing goes with The Undertaker. You know, Undertaker is still going. And in fact, I got news on The Undertaker in just a little bit. But as far as staying retired, I think Shawn Michaels needs to stay retired. Do what he did at WrestleMania 25. Keep it in the vault and never come back, man. It would be disrespectful to The Undertaker and that classic match that they had at WrestleMania 25. Those are my thoughts on Shawn Michaels wrestling one more match. And my top three, definitely AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, and Adam Cole, the NXT North American Champion. Speaking of The Undertaker seemingly will not retire. And when I look at The Undertaker, I don't want to look at The Undertaker and envision Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair, guys who never want to walk away from the business. I don't want to see a 60-year-old dead man walking down the aisle at WrestleMania. In 2018, The Undertaker has already worked 2 matches on the grandest stage at WrestleMania, and at the Greatest Royal Rumble, he squashed John Cena at WrestleMania in 3 minutes and won a casket match against Rusev in Jeddah. The dead man appears to be in excellent shape, quote unquote, and the WWE Universe has been speculating that he could wrestle a lot more this year. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter even stated that the WWE would love to have The Undertaker wrestle 6 or 7 times alone in 2018. According to sources, the company has a huge WWE live event planned for July 7th inside Madison Square Garden. The arena's website has listed The Undertaker for the show. It was implied that he will be working a match. Unfortunately, his opponent has not been revealed, but that may happen as early as this week on Raw. As of this writing, a rematch between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship is listed on the MSG promo. I don't know what's going to happen with that match. We'll talk about that this weekend on Off the Script as we get closer to Money in the Bank. A triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship between Rollins, Balor, and Elias is also mentioned on the MSG promo. WWE officials are planning for the show to be as big as possible. This is part of WWE's SummerSlam Heatwave Tour, which is why The Undertaker will be making another in-ring return for it. The event will be a live event for Monday Night Raw. The Undertaker's opponent is likely to be from SmackDown Live as a result, so the WWE Universe will continue to speculate about who officials will choose to face him at MSG. Before the rumors start to get out of control, it's important to remember the dead man is likely to go over in a short match like we've seen at WrestleMania and in Jeddah against Rusev. Someone like Braun Strowman could be a great choice, but the odds of The Undertaker losing are extremely low. You cannot have Braun Strowman lose, especially if he's going to be in contention for the Universal Championship. Not really in contention, but close to being in contention. Not only that, but he's expected to work with a heel. Only a few real possibilities could be Kevin Owens or even Samoa Joe. I don't think Samoa Joe should be losing going into SummerSlam because if I was booking things, I'd have Joe be challenging for the WWE Championship, and you need him to be as strong as possible for AJ Styles. Kevin Owens seems to be a safe choice. Until WWE officials reveal their choice, the only thing the WWE Universe can do is have a lot of fun speculating on who The Undertaker will be in the ring with on July 7th. As long as there's money to be made for The Undertaker, as long as there's money to be made on The Undertaker, Vince McMahon is going to continue booking him. But when do you walk away? Like I mentioned with Shawn Michaels, I don't want to see a 60-year-old dead man still wrestling for the WWE. I think after this year's WrestleMania, I am tapped out from seeing The Undertaker in WWE. Honestly, there is no one else on this current roster or in NXT that I would like for him to go up against. Nothing else is memorable. Everything we've seen from The Undertaker has been done, and all the dream matches that we've seen with The Undertaker, we've gotten from WWE. I think the last one was John Cena. WWE did what they did with it at WrestleMania this year. Enough is enough. Walk away. Enjoy life after retirement. I do not have any interest in seeing The Undertaker wrestle into his late 50s, early 60s. Speaking of Madison Square Garden, there are rumors that Madison Square Garden is upset with Vince McMahon. We will discuss this in depth on Off the Script this weekend. But according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer radio show, a non-WWE promotion has booked Madison Square Garden for a date later this year in 2018. It is unclear if it will happen or not, but it shows that WWE doesn't have a complete lock on Madison Square Garden for wrestling events anymore. Here is a quote from Dave Meltzer, and I quote, WCW could never get into MSG. Nobody could, even with Ted Turner's ownership. Everyone tried consistently through 2000 to get into Madison Square Garden, from Crockett to Verne, everyone, and they failed. Now, anyone can run Madison Square Garden. There's a show booked by a non-WWE promotion before the end of the year. I expect it not to happen, and it hasn't been announced. But there is a hold on a date, and WWE can do nothing to stop it. So Madison Square Garden right now wants to run wrestling. They want to give the invite and the opportunity to other promotions to run Madison Square Garden. The reason why WWE doesn't run Madison Square Garden is because the fees are outstanding for that venue. There's a reason why WWE has been working out of the Barclays Center for the last 4 years. I know there's got to be some animosity there with MSG and WWE, possibly because of them running SummerSlam 4 years in a row at Barclays Center. And now WrestleMania is coming to New York next year, and WWE is having all of their outside events inside the Barclays Center. Come on, man. You know MSG wants to get in on that. You know MSG wants that exposure. You know MSG has been a huge partner for WWE. You don't think there's any animosity there or any jealousy there? But the reason why WWE doesn't go to Madison Square Garden is because of the fees. So obviously they're going to try and save themselves some money where they can save some money. So who is it to say Vince McMahon can say and do whatever he wants with Madison Square Garden? He doesn't own the building. If they want to promote other wrestling events, if they want to give the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes all in too, like it's been teased, or if they want to get some AAA promotion, Ring of Honor, New Japan could sell out Madison Square Garden. I firmly believe that. If you put on a card like we're seeing this weekend with Dominion at Madison Square Garden, no doubt in my mind that would sell out. But Vince McMahon doesn't want it. But then you hear reports that Vince McMahon isn't really too concerned about what Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks are doing with All In. Of course he fucking knows. Of course he cares. He wants to monopolize the wrestling industry, but, Vince McMahon, the chains are weakening on his grip of professional wrestling. As the indies get stronger, and as everybody sees how popular professional wrestling is getting on the independent circuit, everyone's going to want a piece of that. So Vince McMahon, his grip is loosening on the world of wrestling. So we're going to talk about this more in depth, and I'm going to follow up with this story on Off the Script this weekend. Also, guys, finally, we're going to end with this. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw. Ever since the brand split, ever since the shakeup, this year for 2018, they have been a solid act on Monday Night Raw. One of the very few highlights for Monday Night Raw. According to sources a couple of weeks ago, this is the brainchild of Vince McMahon. Triple H is completely on board with Drew McIntyre as he is there monitoring the booking of Drew McIntyre as he was called up from NXT. But this is a brainchild of Vince McMahon. This was his idea. But now are they thinking about splitting Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre up? After Dolph Ziggler got eliminated first from the Tag Team Battle Royal on Raw this week, there is some speculation that this could be the start of a split between he and Drew McIntyre. And sources are saying that the feeling within the WWE is that McIntyre will be getting a huge push sooner rather than later. If you guys watch Monday Night Raw, Ziggler was eliminated first and everybody was asking why. McIntyre was in the ring, he didn't get eliminated, and he was looking around as if he was saying to himself, what the fuck is going on? That Battle Royal was a complete clusterfuck. Instead of eliminating both members of the team and giving them a real opportunity to win that match, WWE had one member of the team eliminated, which eliminated both members of the team. And that Battle Royal was used as a way to get the B team over. Instead of WWE dragging this out and making a real Cinderella story out of it, WWE put all their eggs in one basket and rushed the tag team title match for the B team at Money in the Bank while eliminating both Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, which arguably was the hottest tag team act on Monday Night Raw. Not really a good look for McIntyre, who is one of the shining stars on a dismal, horrific show. McIntyre's got world champion written all over him. I've said this on Twitter. I've said this on Off the Script. He's got world champion written all over him. Keep him a heel. have him go up against a Seth Rollins at the end of the year. Give Rollins an opportunity to slay the beast. Give him the Universal Championship. I don't think anybody listening to me would be against McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship on Monday Night Raw. That title needs to be back on Raw. The guys need something major to fight over. McIntyre has been great since being called up from NXT, and a great match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre would give everybody at least a sense of a reason to watch Monday Night Raw, man. It's got to happen. The guy's got world champion written all over him. The guy is not what we used to see back with the fucking days of 3MB. The guy needs to be pushed. He's too good not to be pushed. He's too good to be paired with Dolph Ziggler. But then again, what does that mean for Dolph? Does he go right back to being irrelevant? Or do they give him something else major to do, possibly with the Intercontinental Championship and a feud with Elias, if Elias is the one to take the title off of Seth Rollins while Rollins moves up to the main event? What about Roman? Fuck him. He doesn't need to be in the Universal Championship title picture. Once too many times have we seen that story been told, and it's a story that will never get over with the majority of the fans. I got news on that. Apparently, Dave Meltzer states that the plans for Roman Reigns have been revealed at SummerSlam, and it's not going to make anybody happy, and we'll discuss that on this weekend's 225 episode Off the Script, man. That is it. I may have another video out later, man. Let me know what you think of these rapid-fire news. Get right to the point, and I'm going to try something different with my channel, man. If this gets over, then I'll continue doing them. If not, then I'll just go back to the regular way that I've been doing things. But if you guys enjoy this, hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys possibly later today with another video, more news and rumors that we're not going to cover on Off the Script. And I'll see you guys, as always, on Friday for episode 225 of Off the Script, as we are 1 week away from Money in the Bank. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications. If you guys want to support the Patreon page, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. I'm getting out of here, guys. Enjoy your Thursdays, and I'll see you later with more news and rumors right here on Off the Script Extra. I'll talk to you later.